Hi Leo, welcome to my channel. My name is Kem. Today, Leo, for your meditative session, you guys got the grouse. Express yourself through rhythm and movement by drumming and dancing. And I love what this had to say. It said to surrender. So like that's your biggest thing right now, Leo, to surrender. Surrender. Surrender, it says, to the pulse of whatever rhythm is guiding you, right? So I'm getting like a very primal energy here, right? It said in this card, the first experience that you had in this life, like in your own physical body, was through the movement and the vibrations of your mother's heartbeat. Isn't that like so beautiful? I don't know, I just had to say that. Yeah, again, with this primal energy, this energy of surrendering and letting, it's kind of like letting spirit kind of guide you, right? But it's through your own body. So how do we do that, right? It's like, I don't know what, like if you're indecisive right now, or you're just kind of like in this mood where you don't really know where you're going, you're indecisive. I feel like this indecision, basically. And they're saying that to kind of connect with where you're meant to be, you have to let go. You have to like surrender, right, to where you're being led. And how do you do that? How do you surrender completely? I mean, they're telling you, I mean, I'm like trying to think what my answer would be, but their answer is to move, to go dance. There's something about drums. I don't know if you guys play an instrument, but there's something here. I feel like for some of you guys might play an instrument. They're saying like drums is very important this time. Heartbeat, like drum, pulse. There's something very, again, like primal, right? But it's like a beautiful thing. And that's what I'm trying to get from you guys. It's like there's something very primal. There's something like very, it's like a sensation. It's like a perception that you're getting, like physically, right? And I think you have to trust it, Leo. I think you have to trust it. I mean, you're the freaking lion, right? What's more like primal than a lion, right? What's more, and it's like, it's a beautiful thing. That's what I'm getting. It's a beautiful thing, like to go with that primal urge. I know I'm thinking a lot of sex now, but it's not necessarily that. Again, like, you could take it one way, you could take it like very sexual, but at the same time, like for some of you, that might be it. But for a lot of you, I feel like, again, it has something to do with this, like, this really beautiful energy of, like, we were talking about a mother, right? And like the heartbeat and the pulse, right? And the, you know, another thing that I was getting that's a little weird, and that might be for only some of you, it said that you're kind of like at the, you know, you have no control of like what your mom ate at that time, and like the mood that your mom was in at that time, and like, you know, what she was doing at that time, because you were in the womb. And for some of you guys, there might be something still going on now, right? It's kind of like your mother is like rocking the boat, and instead of you just standing firmly in your own position, you allow your mom to rock your own boat. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you allow, just how like you were in the womb with your mother, where she kind of like dictated what you ate and like where you were going. I feel like for some of you guys, everything's beautiful, but like to an extent, right? So it's like that was beautiful when you're in the womb, but as an adult, or, you know, yeah, as an adult, I would want to say like that's not really cute anymore. You know what I mean? So like that's a warning for some of you guys. But I think it's meant to be a beautiful thing. Like, if you don't take things to an extreme, right? Or you don't take things past their due date, right? So again, it's a beautiful thing to like listen to your mom's vibration, her movement, her heartbeat, and go along with it in the womb. But at like a certain point, it's not anymore. And that's kind of what I'm getting for some of you guys. Like, you have to surrender to your own, what you want yourself, right? And your primal urge, basically. I know that sounds so sexual, but it's basically like, where are you being led? And if you let go, where would you be? Like, I guess this is kind of like if you had no, you know, mom like telling you what to do, because I feel like that's for some of you, and you had no one kind of influencing you, and it was just you and where you wanted to be and what you wanted to do. Like, what would you be doing? Who would you be with? And I think that's what they want you to kind of do now. It's kind of like, what are those urges that you're getting that are just from within, and like go with that, right? Again, music is probably important to some of you with this drum that I keep getting, and dancing. And it's interesting because they say like when you unite the dancing with like the instrument. So it's kind of like this unity within. So I feel like we're talking about someone else. I feel like love is going to come up in this read, but not necessarily. But yeah, there's definitely like somewhere that you want to be, Leo, and you're being guided to go in that direction, but you have to follow your own like inner compass. And how do you do that? Like let go and just say, like, if I had no restrictions, where would I be right now? What would I be doing? Who would I be with? Who would I be myself? Like, who do you want to be? You know what I mean? So yeah, Leo, that's what I'm getting. Let's pull some cards. So Leo, this is a big deal, Leo. I feel like you're not giving a about tradition right now. This has to do like tradition, right? With this 10 of Pentacles in reverse, what's gonna set you free is not holding on to an idea of what your life should be, right? And like, whose idea is it of what your life should look like? It's like, what do I want my life to look like? Who, again, and I feel like you're dropping tradition. Like, you don't care about tradition. You don't care about like what anybody else wants for you, right? And that giving a about what other people wanted for you and what people expected from you led you like literally like this. Like, you were so confused about everything. Like, you couldn't make a decision, because it's like, how could you make a decision on like what you need if like that's like what your mom wants, that's what your dad wants, that's what your cousin would want, that's what your other cousin would want, that's what your friend would want, and that's what you want. And then that, like, I don't even think what you want is in this picture. I think it's just what everyone else wants, and it's like not even what you wanted. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it led you to like an indecision and an imbalance in your life, because it was like, I don't even know who I am. Like, I don't even know what I want. I can't even think about what I want, because it's like, what the does everybody else want for me, right? And Leo, you have to get into the like primal. I know it's like, maybe you're very intellectual. That's what I'm getting here, because we have, you know, the King of Swords out. We have the 8 of Swords, the 9 of Swords, the 5 of Swords. So I see a lot of air energy, but I see you getting out of this like intellectual energy. That's what it is. It's like, don't, it's not something you have to think about. It's not something you have to think about. It should be like an easy decision for you. And I think that that's weird for you, because I feel like you're a person who's very calculating, and you think about things and you like work on them, and like you always are the type of person that, you know, if you have to sit with a manual for like 20 minutes and try to read a manual about how something works, you know, when you get like a new, I don't know, you get something and like you don't know how it works, and you're that person that's like dedicated to figuring it out by reading the book and figuring it out, and you'll take your time. And honestly, it's like, throw the manual away. You know what I mean? Like, who gives a fuck about like what other people want for your life? And you're not giving a anymore. That's what I like. With this 8 of Swords in reverse, you're not hurting yourself anymore. You're not doing things that like hurt you. It's like, but in order to please someone else, right? It's like, in order to please someone else in my life, I'll sit here for 3 days doing this stupid project that someone wanted me to do for them. Meanwhile, I'm wasting my own time. I'm not doing what I want to do. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you don't care anymore. And look at this like freeing energy. Once you let go of like what the tradition was, like what was the tradition in your life, what was like expected of you, what people wanted for you, you let that go and you're free, right? And you're claiming abundance. but in your own way. See, you're still gonna get this 10 of Pentacles, but it's not the one that like everyone wanted for you, right? It's the one that you wanted for yourself, right? You see how this guy's like a dog? Like he's not a traditional, you know, like person, and the family doesn't, you know what I mean? It's like, how do I explain it? It's like you're doing it your way. It's like your way. I feel like you got this last week. I don't know, but yeah, it's your way. It's like, what do I want? What makes me feel good? Like, what makes me feel? It's like you're the emperor. The emperor came out twice, but it's like the way you want it to be done, right? Not the way that anybody else wants it to be done. And that's true abundance, Leo, because it's like you just don't care anymore. It's like it doesn't matter what they want. That's led me to be very unfulfilled. That's led me to be very confused. That's like very, very confused, right? But you're getting help on this clarity of what it is that, again, get into this primal energy, Leo. This like line energy. I have to look up the word primal. Okay, so what's crazy to me is like when I'm looking up the word primal, it spoke of like an animalistic, right? It's a very basic instinct, but it's also, so it's instinctual. And that's making me think of intuition, right? Like, it's another way of going about intuition. I think you're struggling really hard with the word intuition. So I think instead of me telling you to use your intuition, go on instinct. And I think it's again, it's the most basic need within, but it's also very, very powerful, right? And it's associated with animals. And that's why I think that this 10 of Pentacles came up. Remember I was like, but this guy is a dog. Yeah, this is you in your primal like instinct, in your most basic instinct. Like, what is it that I want? What is it that I need? What are your basic needs? It's like your basic needs aren't even being met wherever the you're at. You know what I mean? And they're bringing this clarity to you that, again, another animal, if you go with your basic instinct, again, the word intuition I think bothers you, right? So I'm going to say instinctual, right? Work on your instincts. What does your instinct tell you, right? Like if you were a lion or you were some sort of animal, right? A basic instinct is like, okay, like I need food. You know what I mean? Like it's like to not think about things so much. You're overthinking, and maybe again, that's another issue. Like aside from trying to please others, it's overthinking, right? And that also has led you to confusion. Overthinking. Stop overthinking things. Go with your that's what the grouse is saying. With the drumming, the dancing, the rhythm, it's like your instincts, your basic instincts, your basic needs. Your basic needs aren't even being considered, I think, by others. It's like your basic needs are not considered in this traditional path, but I just love the fact that there's a dog here. Like, I don't know how to express this to you. I've never seen this card like in such a light, and today I'm going crazy about it because it's like we're talking about instinct, and then this dude on the freaking card is a dog. But he has like man hands. Do you know what I'm saying? Go on your primal instinct, Leo. Like, what does your body tell you like you should be, right? I feel like with lions and shit, I know they live in like a pack. Like they have like a community, right? But everything is instinctual, right? I think like them choosing a mate is instinctual. I think them like going for their food, everything is just based off instinct. There's no thinking. Right now is not a time to think, Leo. It's a time to go. It's a time to go. And I see you going. I see you going with the Sun and the Two of Wands at the end. I see you going. What's really interesting, Leo, is that, again, you're going to receive this clarity if you open up to your instincts. And yes, you can have the stability that you want in life. Again, you're going to get the 10 of Pentacles. So what is the 10 of Pentacles? The 10 of Pentacles is like ultimate stability, right? And you're going to get that, but doing it your way, right? You see the card came up in reverse here, but it's upright here. It's not even necessarily traditional, but it's what you want. You know what I mean? And with the Justice card and the Queen of Wands, I think that, okay, I'm getting two things. Maybe some of you guys were pushed to be with someone traditionally, right? And you were not allowed to kind of be with someone else because it was like tradition. Another thing I'm getting is like the person that you wanted to be with initially, it went against tradition, right? So I feel like this has a lot to do with religion and like culture. So maybe like that was an issue with this Queen of Wands. But I see here that, I feel like you were separated from someone because it was like not traditional. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe you were pushed towards someone else, right? And it could be that right here. But I do see that you suffered, right, from having to kind of take yourself out away from someone. Like, I don't think you necessarily wanted to. I think you just thought it was like the best thing. Again, because you were thinking about it. You were like thinking so much about the shit instead of going off what you felt, right? What you felt, what your instincts were. I'm not talking about fear either. Like, fear is also some sort of, it's a component, but it's not what we're talking about. Like, yeah, fear can really blur a decision. So I'm talking about just a primal instinct. I don't think a lion is necessarily scared of anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think a lion sets out to hunt or sets out to do something and they're like fearful. You know what I mean? Like, I think maybe in the back of their mind, they're always like guarding themselves, but I don't think a lion is scared of many other animals. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I'm getting. It's like, has nothing to do with fear. It has to just do with like what you think is bad. Not think, oh my God, don't think, no. What you feel. Yeah, it's like, what is your wish fulfillment, Leo? And this is justice. This is justice. You know, maybe choosing what you actually want is justice, right? We have a lot of sword energy. But I'm not getting it today as intellectual, like, thinking mind. I'm getting it as, I keep saying I'm thinking, that's you. I'm getting it as instinctual. It's instinctual. What is your primal urge? What is your primal needs? Like, what are your basic needs, Leo? Like, are your basic needs even being met right now? I feel like you understand that they will never be met doing things the way that someone else wants you to do them, right? And again, with the grouse, we were talking a lot about moms in the beginning. So it could be a mom. But I see you understanding this, and I feel like at the end of this, you come out with the Emperor up twice, right? Because you go towards that primal, like, urge. You go, I know it sounds very sexual, and maybe it is very sexual. Maybe it is just, you know, aside from it being something that you feel, it's just, you know, it's what you want and you feel like you need it, and that's it, and you've made your decision, and that's how you need to be, Leo. Like, look at this person is taking off their mask. They don't really care like what anyone has to say about it. And with this 8 of Cups, I feel like this aligns you, right? You're free to be you, right? You're free to not have these restrictions of society or culture, religion, whatever the fuck it is. It's like you don't care. And look, if once you sit in this energy, you get the heaven and earth. You go from the 10 to the 11. It's a beautiful thing, Leo. You're allowing like the ending of a cycle. And both of your cards came up here, which is crazy. We have the Sun, Leo, and we have the Strength card, which are both your cards. So it's like the more you get into your own element, research like lines, research the word primal. Look these words up. They're very important to you. If you need to dance, like, I feel like I'm talking to a masculine, so I don't know if masculines necessarily feel, I don't know. If you like to dance, there's something about a drum. If you can listen to a drum playing, they want to help bring you to your most primal, like, self. And I know that sounds crazy because I feel like they always say, like, what separates us from the animals is this, you know, the mind. But that's not who you're meant to be right now, Leo. Like, there's no problem in you being very intellectual and smart. But at the same time, if you can't use that other part of you, that other part of the sword, which is instinctual and intuition, then, like, you don't really have anything. You're just somebody who overthinks everything, and you're just somebody who, like, is confused all the time. You need to balance out both of them. There's like a benefit to thinking, but there's also a benefit to feeling. You know that 16 personalities quiz, they ask, like, they rate you on if you feel more versus think more, you know? I would love to know your score because I feel like you overthink. So you'd probably have like a 90 in the thinking and like a 10 in the feeling. You know what I'm saying? And they need that to be balanced, right? I mean, I'm not even talking shade. I feel like my feeling was like 80 or 90 and like my thinking was like very low, which is also imbalanced. So don't worry, like, I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm just saying, like, we have to balance that out, right? I need to think more perhaps, and you need to like feel more. But yeah, I see you're gonna go, like, it's gonna take strength to kind of go towards someone that you might have lost with the 2 of Cups in reverse, towards a soulmate that you might have like kind of disregarded or threw away. But I feel like you're okay that the fact that maybe this ended is it's okay, because you're gonna set out again. Do you know what I'm saying? You're gonna set out again. You're gonna try again. Try again. Look how like how much work this person's putting in. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna take work to maybe get something that has like been gone or like lost. But I feel like you're gonna be ready to set out again. You're gonna be ready to try again, right? And with heaven and earth, you're gonna succeed. You're gonna get to where you need to be. It's just all about this primal instinct. Let's see if there's any divine feminines for you, Leo. Oh my God, Leo. Oh my God, Lilith, the first woman. And it's crazy because when I was looking at primal, it was like the first need, the first basic instinct. It's the first thing that comes to mind. Do you know what I'm saying? And you got the first woman. This shit is crazy. I can't. I am the voice of my body and soul. I choose the life I desire to live. Choose the life you desire to live. There's this like really crazy thing about, whatever, we'll get into this another day. I think I want to like make a post about this separately. But what I love about Lilith is that, I don't know if you guys know the story of Lilith. I'll say it really quickly for people who already know. But Lilith was Adam's first wife. And Adam felt like she should be subordinate to him. He was like, you're supposed to be under me. We're not equal, right? And she was like, fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't agree. You know, why? Like, you know what I mean? Like, who made that rule up? And he did. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't make any sense. So even in the Bible, like, she's not in the story of Genesis. She's in like another like passage. She's not in Genesis, like the first story in the Bible. And only Eve comes up. It's like they totally like disregarded her. And I feel like it's interesting because I feel like maybe that's what your family will do to you if you like don't listen. Like, oh, like they'll disregard you, or maybe that's what they do. They disregard what you want and they just kind of care about themselves, which is like very selfish. Same thing as Adam. Like, he's so selfish. It's like, oh, well then if you're not going to be subordinate to me, like, well then, you know. And that's probably what's going on right here. There's like a power struggle going on. But you see how Adam makes absolutely no sense. Like, Adam's like, you're supposed to be under me, and it's like, but why? And I think that's like maybe your mom or somebody's like, you're under me, you're not at the same level as me, and you're like, but why? You know what I mean? And I think there's like a deep-rooted tradition there. Like, you know, in some families, it's like, especially like Asian cultures, right? It's like the elderly are revered, right? And they're supposed to be seen as, I don't know, you're supposed to respect your elders. I think that's like a universal thing, but I think that's very much like Asian culture. So maybe you're like from an Asian place. I don't know. Like the Asian continent, I don't know. But what I'm getting with Lilith, first woman, I'm getting a lot of things, but again, it's like there's no logical reason, right? And then maybe you can understand that if I tell you to think about it logically, like what's the reason that this person's like has over you, right? Like, why do you have to be subordinate to them? Why can't you do what you want to do, right? And the best thing is that she chose the life that she desired to live. She deadass like dipped, you know what I mean? She was like, okay, bye, Adam. And I feel like the Bible kind of doesn't talk enough about her, but I think like that's exactly what you need to be doing, choosing the life that you desire to live. I think it's very primal. I think it's very basic, what you need. And I think you should just go for it, Leo. Like, go for it. It's gonna maybe require a lot of strength, but it's gonna lead to ultimate happiness for you. These are your two cards. It's like, be more in your own element. Look up lines, man. Look up lines and like, just think about yourself in that way. Like, if you need to give yourself more of a, you know, animalistic character, right? Like this guy right here, it's like he's a dog, but his hands are like human. It's like, be more animalistic, like be more primal, like go towards your urges, your desires. If something doesn't feel right, it's not right. You know what I mean? And maybe that's what you've been getting all along, like stuff, it's not right for you, right? So it's like, create this justice for yourself. Leo, I love you guys so much. I hope this reading resonates, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.